What's going on? Coach Carr here, bringing you another video. This one is on page 18 and 20 in your notes. So it's using density and it's finding area of an irregular shape. So I hope you enjoy. So the success criteria is you'll be successful when you can find the area of irregular shapes and use density based on area. And the learning target, we're using two of them in this video, GMG 1.1 and 1.2. 1.1 wants you to use geometric shapes, their measures, and their properties to describe objects. That goes more with the one that you do on page 18. The one on page 20 deals more with the second part where it's saying apply concepts of density based on area. All right, y'all, we're on page 18, number 2. It says, suppose you want to determine the approximate area of a lake at a recreational park using the information given in the park's brochure. So the triangles on the map signify the locations of picnic sites. The distance between the sites are given on the map. Use the geometric shapes to model the area of the lake. Sketch the model you choose and include its dimension. Using your model, estimate the surface area of the lake. So they gave us a picture of a lake at a recreational park. So that's not a park that lets you smoke some broccoli. So we have a park here and we want to find the area of this lake, the surface area. So this would be considered like one of our regular shapes. So we want to make it into a shape that we recognize and know how to find the area of. So to me, if I'm looking at it, it looks like a rectangle. Because this part, to me, looks like it's pretty much a rectangle. And this part, I would consider it to look like a triangle. And to make it easier to find the area of it, I'm going to make it a right triangle. So now I want to make sure I label each of the sides. So they told me the bottom picnic site to here is 374. So the bottom here is roughly close to 374 yards. The side here, they say, is 800. So if this side is 374, so is this side. Now, on this part, they tell me the full length from here to here is 572. So if I'm going to want to find the height of this triangle, what I want to do is 572 minus 374. So I'm subtracting it from that, and I get 198. So the height of this part, would be 198. And then they say that you have like a little bridge here. So the base of my triangle would be 244. So in order to find what we're looking for, we are going to want to do the rectangle. So the area of a rectangle plus the area of the triangle. So if I do my rectangle, it's base times height. My triangle is going to be base times height over 2. So once I find the area of each, I'm going to add them together. So for the rectangle, I'll do that one first. My base is 374. My height is 800. So when I multiply those together, I get 299,200. So that would be the base, or sorry, the area of the rectangle. Now my triangle, the base would be this portion here, the 244. The height would be this part here, the 198. all over 2. So 244 times 198 is 48,312, all divided by 2. When you divide that, you get 24,156. So these two numbers need to add together. So to find the area of the whole thing, I would do 299,200 plus 24,156. When you do that, you get 323,356 yards squared. So if I had to estimate the surface area of this, that's what we would do, is break it up into the shapes and then find the areas of shapes that we know. Alright, so now the next one is page 20, number 1. This one's saying the diagram below represents the state of Utah. The boundaries of the state are labeled in miles according to their approximate lengths. Use the information in the diagram to estimate the state's population given a population density of 34.489 people per square mile. Explain your reasoning and show your calculations. So since they gave us a population density and we're trying to find the population, if it's 34.489 people per square mile, to get a square mile, that's finding an area. So we're going to want to have to find the area before we do anything with this density. So the way that we're going to do this is just similar to the problem we just did. We want to break it up into a couple shapes that we can deal with. So what I'm going to do is draw a line going straight across here. Now, there's multiple ways you could have done this. I could have went down here. Like, you don't have to do it exactly the way I do, because you will end up getting the same answer as me. But I turn this into a rectangle. If this side's 159, so is this side. And the only thing I don't know here is what the height is for that. So if the full height from here to all the way to the top is 345, if I take that and subtract it from the part that I know here, I can find that height. When I subtract those, I get 69. Now, when we find the area, we're going to be trying to find the area of each rectangle, because there's 2 rectangles that we have. So once we find the area of each rectangle, we're going to add them together. So let's say first one we do is, let's say we did the small one first. If we did that, I would get the base would be 159. So remember, it's base times height, so the base would be 159. And the height would be 69. So when I combine these, 159 times 69, I get 10,971. Now, over here, what I would have is I would want to be combining the big one. So on this side and this side. So the base is 265. So we're doing base times height. Base is 265. The height is 276. When you multiply those together, you get 73,140. So these two have to add together to get the full area. So if I add them together, I get 84,111 miles squared. So now we have our square miles that they wanted. So to find the total population, you want to take your square miles and multiply it with the density. So I'm going to do my 84,111. That has to multiply with the density they gave us, 34.489. When you multiply that together, you get a pretty big number, but remember, you're trying to find the total population of Utah, so it's supposed to be a big number. So 2,900,904.279. So the answer that we're looking for is the state population is 2,900,904. And that would be a rough guesstimate based on what they told us. Thank you so much for watching. I would probably put a star next to these problems because there are going to be 2 problems on your test super similar to the ones that you just did. So I would put a star and make sure you study these ones carefully.